What's what's your feeling? I don't know that it's necessarily changed since you've spoken to it before, but obviously 3 o'clock is kind of on the horizon here. Coming off of last night, what's your feeling with this group and with them?
Well, last night obviously is disappointing, and in this league, there's always disappointments throughout the league. Just look at the scoreboard every single night around the league, and teams are extremely disappointed. But when you wake up the next morning, you have opportunities that lie right in front of you, and if you dwell and you spend extra time feeling down or sorry for yourself or try to throw a pity party, you're in trouble because we're still in a great spot and in a great position. If we start dwelling on negative now, it's going to sink us and will interfere with the opportunity that we have at hand, and that's still very much in the thick right now of fighting for a playoff spot. And that's good, and we've got to be excited about that, period. So that was the message this morning. Now, use last night's game and pluck details out that you can help dial you in or focus you on either improvement or targets for the next game. And we have to do that.
So I guess the only follow I would have done to that is maybe something that a fan would ask you, right? Like whether it's the Columbus game or last night, is there anything that suggests maybe that you need a little push, something at the deadline to get over the top, if that's something that would be valuable to this group?
Well, we're dealing with some injuries, obviously. Dahls plays 26 minutes, maybe a little bit more than 26. I think I'm close to the amount he plays, and that's close to half the game. That's a big void. And Tuck is obviously a big void, playing I think he's our highest forward minute-wise. And if you look at, Colorado, for example, when they lose two of their top players, what their situation is at that point. It's just, this league is tough when you lose. It's challenging and much more challenging. So, that is some hardship, but it is also forcing guys. It gave Jack Quinn a spot on the first line, and he's looked great, and that's going to push Jack Quinn to the next level. And, obviously Owen takes over the spot on the first power play, and he's a great young talent. So I guess what I tell you is all the greater the challenge for us, we've made a commitment. Now's not the time to be impatient. We've seen massive growth in this organization. Nobody knew we had a first line in the NHL a year ago. We have one of the best first lines in the NHL with Thompson, Tuck, and Skinner. It's just statistically shows that. That came out of nowhere. So, and that's just one example of growth. Darlene growing into what he is. We see Owen growing every day. So the question that goes through your head is now the time to be impatient? Or are we going to do something being impatient? This is the first time our players have experienced. We put players in the NHL to gain the experience of being in the NHL. Lots of young guys, and put them in situations to gain experience. Fighting for a playoff race and the pressure that comes with it and the hype that comes with it is a psychological challenge that our guys need to learn to deal with, especially the ones that we feel need to be here and are going to help us turn it and win a lot. And we feel we're going to win a lot, and we're winning more and more, and we're not satisfied with that, but we want to win we want to get greedy and win even more. And the only way to do that is for these guys to develop more and more and more. So I don't know that answers your question, but that weighs on us significantly. When is the right time? And when you do that, you're blocking out Jack Quinn from getting that amazing experience that he's getting right now, and he's looking better every day. He was probably one of our best players last night.
Now that the group in practice, so what's his status now in practice?
I'll find that out. So he had a really good skate yesterday. He stayed back with our medical guys that are here and skating coach with Mike Ansell, and that was really positive. That was his first time back on the ice, and it was as positive as could be. Now we integrated him today, and not a heavy workload, but I'll get the feedback after this. And, as I mentioned, day to day, prior and every day we're taking information. How is his response to the next push and challenge? We'll see that, and we'll probably see it actually tomorrow morning a little bit too, after the workload today. So what that means, I don't know about tomorrow for a game, but I can't rule it out either until we get some more information after his response here.
What's been your view of what the trade market has been across the league? Been pretty active.
Well, I tell you this, I love we're building this team for now without sacrificing the future. And I watch teams, especially in our conference, sacrificing a lot of the future, and they're in a win now. I think what you see this year, for me, and having been through it even on the side of pro scouting and management a little bit, is I think the last couple of years there was Stanley Cup favorites from the East and favorites from the West, and you guys know who they were. And this year, you don't have those perennial favorites that were the last 2, 3, 4 years. And I think everybody feels this is their year now. They have a chance. There's not a real big name team out there that everybody thought from the start of the season was the favorite. And that's different than 3, 4 years ago. And I think that's influenced the market from what I see and have been around. And again, I think we're in a great position as a franchise because you can just see we're seeing the potential and we're seeing the growth every day and the potential every day. And so for us, we're in a little different category, in a good category, different than other teams that maybe are worried about their window.
Back to Rasmus, can you see him getting antsy? Because, I mean, we know who the competitor is. Can you see that
Yes.
he wants to get at you?
Yes, I can. Just what you said, I can see him getting antsy. He did not want to play, and he wanted to go on the road yesterday, and so he's doesn't want to sit still, and he's the guy that feels like he's letting his teammates down, and obviously he's not. He's not fit to play right now, and it's a challenge for him to swallow that and deal with that, but that's why he's great.
What can UPL gain out of a game like last night, especially the last few minutes, the way that went? The last couple of starts for him, Toronto, you guys haven't handled the puck well in front of them. It's made the job a little bit difficult. How do you think that he's handled the ups and downs? Because you would see there's been moments where the frustration has been apparent.
You said it. We haven't handled the puck well, and that's in teams like that. That's what they thrive on. It's gained experience for UPL. I think he'll look at that as we put him in really high stress situations. He hasn't been in those situations in his career yet, and he's gaining the experience of it. So he was very frustrated after the game last night, and he will watch the film today, look in the mirror on it, and so to speak, and use that. So the next time he goes into Boston, the next time he goes into a pressure situation, he has the hindsight of that experience, and that's important. It's his potential that listen. I've talked before. When you take young, talented players and you thrust them in the NHL, their focus is not on development anymore. It tends to be on survival and performance. And so we've wanted to insulate him as much as we can to say, make sure you're still focused on development. So we're going to put you in these situations knowing, hey, this is going to be a heck of a challenge for you. You're going to, on the other side of this, you're going to be a better goalie. We certainly think you're capable of winning, but win or lose, you got to extract from this experience ways to become better. And he's been doing that over and over. That's why it's important to get him in those situations, fully believing he can do it. Again, mishaps last night, I think there were more than just him. So you can't point a finger at him. I can't point a finger at anybody for last night. When you lose as a group.
When you look at the Tampa, it seems to me, please correct me if I'm wrong, you played 3 pretty good games against Tampa. You won one of them, but the other 2 games, you were right there. I mean, how have you felt you've played against the Lightning so far this year?
Yeah, I think did we lose one in a shootout as well? So 1-1-1, and I would agree with you. We played to our identity in those games. We played with pace. I just watched quite a bit of our last game against Tampa this morning, just getting ready for tomorrow, and we look like a different team than we did last night. We played with better pace and better intent and confidence, and we know they're a heck of a team. I think our guys know that, but yeah, we've played 3 decent games against them, and we really need a 4th.